Hi everyone, once again I am Teacher John Ray V. Togle, your PHED instructor. Before we start, kindly read the reminders below. Time's up. Good morning. Praise be Jesus Christ and Mary. Today, let's have our another lesson. I hope you are ready. Your ball pens and journals are ready also. Before I introduce to you our topic this morning, let us have first the learning objectives. At the end of the session, you are expected to differentiate warm-up, stretching, and cool-down routine. Then also identify the types of stretching and warm-up. And lastly, explain the types of stretching and warm-up. So, get ready. Our topic this morning is all about warm-up, stretching, and cool-down routines. But before we start our discussion, let's have first a pre-activity entitled Jumbled Letters. I'll show to you the jumbled letters at the left side of the screen and will give to you the hints in the right side of the screen. Then before I give you the answer, you'll be given also 10 minutes to think the right word. Here's the first word. And for the blueprints or the clues, this word is a noun. It is in its plural form, composed with 8 letters and ends with letter S. It means an act that damages or hurts. Your 10 seconds starts now. Time's up. The answer is injuries. Now let's have the next word. Get ready. Here's your blueprints. This word is an adjective. 2 syllables with 7 letters. These words ends with letter L, word rather, and it means important or essential. Your timer starts now. The correct answer is crucial. Let's have the last word. Your blueprint is or are. This word is an adjective. It is composed of 5 letters, and in the middle of this word you can see the letter I, and it means first or before. Your timer starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is prior. Okay, so those words are or can be seen or can be found as we go throughout our discussion this morning. So I hope you're ready. Let us start. As what I've told you before, our topic this morning is all about warm-up, stretching, and cool down. In order to avoid injury, class, and to prepare the muscles and joints for physical activities, a proper warm-up and stretching routine must be performed prior to exercise. Again, when you say prior, it is first or before. So meaning, kailangan nating mag-stretching at mag-warm up bago tayo sasalang sa any physical activities. It might be a sport or dancing or any physical activities. Okay, so importance. Let us talk about the importance of stretching and warm-up or these routines. Why is it important? The first factor is to prepare an individual for sports or any physical activity. So, para maging handa tayo, class, ay kailangan nating dumaan muna sa mga stretching series at saka sa mga warm-up. And also, it will help us to minimize injury. So, kadalasan, class, if you are not able to perform a stretches and warm-ups, your body is prone to any injuries, such as sa sports, no? Sa basketball, dali kang mabikugan. And also, if kanang pamaulan ka, kung wala kay stretching, of course, mas heavy kayo imong pamaol kaysa mag-stretching kadaan before kang musalang sa activities. So that's the importance. Alright, so this time, let us talk about warm-up. So what is warm-up? I know you are very familiar to this word, but sometimes, ato ang ma-misconceptualize ng warm-up of stretching is the same. But, let's try to find it out if the same ba gina sila. Literally, warm the body up with light exercise and movement. So, meaning kapag sinabi natin warm-up class, it is to literally warm the body up. No? Painito na ato ang lawas. That's warm-up. Okay, so what is the main purpose of warm-up? The main purpose of warm-up class is to prepare the body and mind for strenuous activity. Kaya sa una, kung mayroon tang mag-warm up, tuwado yung masulod sa huna-huna nga to prepare our body. But then, not just the body, but also the mind. When you say strenuous activity, it means active or heavy or difficult activities class. Right, so let us have, we have here in the screen the three types of warm-up. First, we have the passive, the general, and specific warm-up. Okay, now let's talk these different types of warm-up one by one. The first one is the passive warm-up. What is the passive warm-up? It is when one elevates body temperature through the use of heat packs or hot shower. Sa madaling salita, class, pinapainit ng isang tao ang kanyang katawan sa pamamagitan ng mga methods or different methods, such as heat packs and hot shower. Hindi lang yan, maaari ding massage or also maaari ding yung tinatawag nating steam bath, no? Yung maghahanap tayo ng hot spring at saka ilulubog natin yung katawan natin para to make our body relax. So it involves this type of warm-up class involves rising muscles and core temperature by some external means. So, sa mga babae class, say for example, kapag meron sila, no, yung mga red days nila, they're using heat packs, di ba? Then, ilalagay nila yung sa dapit sa ilang push-on, no, I think to minimize the pain. So, I'm sorry kasi hindi naman talaga ako babae at saka I never experienced that thing, pero I don't know kung unsa na siya, para unsa na siya. Pero feeling na ko is it's to minimize the pain. Kaya sakit biyak mo ng dukon ka. May radyong dili ko babae. Next, we have here the general warm-up. Okay, so what is general warm-up, by the way? When you say general warm-up, this kind of warm-up involves light movement of major muscle group. And light movement. Kapag sinabi natin light movement, it is from the low intensity. Next, the aim of this warm-up class is to elevate the heart and the respiratory rate. Okay, in return to that will be the increase of blood flow, and it will help the transportation of oxygen and nutrients to the working muscles. No? Kung ma-elevate ang hatong heart rate o katong respiratory rate, of course, dako kaya ang tabang it will help with the transportation of the oxygen and nutrients to the working muscles. Next, we have this specific warm-up, or also known as the sport-specific warm-up. So what is this specific warm-up all about? It means, or this kind of warm-up, it mimics actual moves of the sport or activity that will be engaged. So when you say mimic, do or does. It do the actual moves of the sport or activity that will be engaged. So say for example, class ka nang magtula ka o volleyball, no? Kung nakabantay ka, ang kanisa nga type na stretching is kanang mag-isa-isa sa kamot, kanang mag-spike-spike, kaya lagi mimics actual moves of the sport or the activity that will be engaged. Another example is swimming. Di ba kabantay mo sa swimming? Ang sa swimming is kanang arm circle, kanang mag-ana-ana, di ba? So, kuan po sila o warm up nga arm circle. Arm circle is not just a stretch, or kind of stretch, but it also a kind of warm up. Pwede siya sa warm up, pwede siya sa stretch. Okay. Next, we have here, during this type of warm-up class, more vigorous activity are employed. So when you say vigorous, heavy activities gina siya, or active activities ato ang kinahanglan engaged. Next, stretching. What is stretching? When you say stretching, stretching is performed in order to maintain or increase flexibility. Again, maintain and increase flexibility. So, kung flexible ka, mas maayo. Okay. So, just like warm-up, we also have here the types of stretching. We have this, what we call ballistic stretching, static stretching, and dynamic stretching. Okay, let's talk first about ballistic stretching. So, what is ballistic stretching? When you say ballistic stretching, it makes us use of rapid and jerky movements. When you say rapid, it's fast. And when you say jerky, it's abrupt or quick. Okay, so this kind of stretching class involves trying to force a part of the body beyond its range of motion. No? Pugsanay gini siya, ginabutangan gini siya of force. Say for example, kanang mo split ka, bisag dili nimo kaya, imuha jong i-try, imuha i-push ang imong kagalingan, or maybe there is someone na mo push para maka-split ka. And you know, class, that ballistic stretching is dangerous. And according sa research, kani siya nga kinds of stretching is wala na siya gina-apply or it is already phased out. Kay tungod dangerous ni siya o dili siya maayo. Next, we have here the static stretching. What do you mean by static stretching? From the word static, it means stationary. Okay, this kind of stretching increases the range of motion as well as relaxes the muscle. This kind of stretching also involves stretches that you hold in a place for a period of time. As what I've told you, when you say static, it refers to stationary. Meaning, sa usa ka place, magliho ka dira without kana moving to another place. Okay, so kani siyang mga stretching is katuni siyang sa head series, nakahinumdum mo. Katnatay neck series rather. And also, we have here the shoulder, chest, arm series. And, isa pa ni? We have here wrist series and trunk, hips, tights, calf series. Katong mga stretches na inyong i-perform a while ago. So, mauto siya example sa static stretching. No? When you say static, stationary, hindi siya nga stretching. Next, we also have here the dynamic stretching. Okay, when you say dynamic stretching, this is similar to ballistic stretching. Pare-pareha siya. But then the movement is not jerky and uncontrolled. So unlike sa ballistic stretching, ang ballistic stretching is jerky and rapid. When you say dynamic stretching class, it's not jerky and uncontrolled. So, mas maarang-arang ni siya nga stretching kaysa ballistic stretching. Dili ni siya dangerous. Okay. Next, this kind of stretching avoids bouncing and sometimes include movements which are sport-specific. So, parehasad siya sa, what's this? Sa specific warm-up, no? Parehas sa specific warm-up. Ang kaning dynamic stretching also, sometimes, kanang nag-reflect po niya siya sa sport-specific nga mga movement. So, say for example, kanang volleyball, if nakabantay mo na mo last time, nag-volleyball me, we have our drills, no? during sa dynamic stretching class, kay na-involve na diri or na-belong na diri ang kanang ginatawag nila mga drills. Sa mga basketball, sa mga volleyball, kanang mga ambak, wala ko kabulong sa mga tawag anak, pero na ay mga dynamic series nga stretching nga ginabuhat before mo salang sa mga volleyball o basketball. Alright, now this time let's talk about cool down. Okay, I know you're very familiar about this word. Kay after this, after sa ato ang mga activities or physical activities, we will having this kind of routine, the cool down routine. So, this kind of routine are done after the session. So, pagkahuban na sa tanan sa physical activity, say for example, kanang mag-zumba ta, sa mga sayo-sayo ta sa zumba, after ana is the cool down yun, no? Parang ano man, kung sa man, ang ato ang blood rate is very taas siya. So, through cool down, magkahinahina siya pamabo. Kabantay mo, dito pwede mo lingkod dayon. Kanang for example, jogging, nagdaganta o lagyo, kanang sa na 50-meter sprint for example, kanang mga competition, mga athletics, dilita dayon pwede mo lingkod kay delikado. And also sa kanang mga sayaw-sayaw, sa sports, the dancing, cool down is very important, no? Para ang ato ang blood rate is mo hinahinay sa akong kamubo. Para dili makalitan na itong lawas. Alright, so I want you to take note of this. Number 1, stretching is different from warm-up. Okay? When you say stretching class, it is to maintain, no, and increase the flexibility of the body. When you say warm-up, it is to literally warm our body up. Alright, so dynamic stretching is typically done before the workout. Remember, dynamic stretching, typically done before the workout. So wala pa yung workout, dapat naka-stretching na ta kaninga type sa stretching. Static stretching class is one of the best and safest stretching that we've had. Static stretching typically done at the end of the workout. So, end of the workout, mauni siya kalabanan ang mga stretching. And then, Polyester stretching is a type of stretching that is dangerous. So remember, this kind of stretching class kay, what's this? Na face out na ni siya o dili ni siya applicable because it is very dangerous. Then, cool down routines are done after the activities. After the activities, na siya cool down routines. For your evaluation, I want you to answer these questions. First, differentiate warm-up, stretching, and cool down routines. Next, what are the different types of warm-up? Explain each. And the third one, what are the different types of stretching? Explain each. Yes, you can also use our G Classroom, no, to submit your answers. And I'll collect that one on Wednesday. Alright, for another activity, this is part of your midterm examination. I want you to make a video recording of yourself doing a cool-down routines with a minimum of 5 minutes. Then please choose an appropriate cool-down music. Ayaw itong pang-rock ng taon kayo, mag-cool-down, mag-rock-rock, alarang dapita. Kung saan pagka-relax sa inyong body. Okay, so do this on Wednesday. And submit on Friday. Right? Next, for our reminders, kindly focus on the lesson that we've had this time. This lesson will be the coverage of our examination. And remember, no permit, no exam. God bless you everyone. Once again, I am Teacher John, your PhD instructor. One school, one victory, one SJCI.